Hi there, my name is Alice Cary
And I'm Jamieson, Carmichael.
and this is the Woolloongabba Community Garden. In this unit of geography, we want the children to use mapping techniques and statistical information to find where a community garden is located and what it looks like. The problem we will be looking at in this investigation is, where is a community garden and how can we show what it looks like?
Students are already familiar with last term's work on the cardinal points of north, south, east and west. Prior to this fieldwork, the class did a whole class lesson on the interactive whiteboard looking at street mapping, showing where the school is located in relation to the community garden. Prior to this fieldwork, we've made this walking map for students to follow as they walk from the school to the community garden. Now on this map, there is a legend to help the students. Road, shopping centre, railway line, lights and zebra crossings, footbridge, houses, forest area, footpaths. There's also a north point too.
We also took photos of features of the garden. Here are some photos and wrote the children's names in pairs on the back of each photo to be prepared for the fieldwork activity. The location of the investigation being a community garden means it is fully fenced with only one exit and entry point. And for safety reasons, there will be a parent volunteer stationed here at all times. This will ensure that all students are safe and to make sure no one runs out onto the road.
On this site, we will let the children initially do their own observations of this community garden. Let them explore what is a community garden and the natural features that there are, as well as the constructed ones. Once the students have had a chance to look around, the teacher will gather the students as a whole in order to highlight the specific features that the garden has to drive this investigation. Now, let's go have a look at the garden. Over here we have our compost bins and bamboo used as a windbreak. Over this side we have our garden bed, flowers, sand pit, water tank, our beehive, pizza oven and a seated area, as well as a shed at the back and a garden of herbs and spices.
We will show the children the garden map and explain the features of the map and its key. So over here we have our key. We've used bark chips for our garden path, bamboo leaves for our windbreak, straws to show our raised garden beds, blue for our water tank, red for our pizza oven. We've also used pom-poms to represent flowers. We will identify with the children which resources we can recycle, reduce, reuse, or none of these, and where these spaces are on the map. We will point out signs that support these activities also and write them on our map.
Once this activity is done, the students will receive their photograph which had been organised prior to the fieldwork and ask them to locate where their photograph belongs on the poster. They will then come up one by one and blue tack it on. As the students come up, we will ask the children if they have noticed any interesting features about the place where their photograph belongs, such as the smell of flowers or herbs, or the feeling of the shape of the leaves. Then we will break for morning tea.
Okay, so after morning tea, we will show the children 5 plastic bottles with pictures of a spider on the first one, a butterfly, bee and ladybird on the second, a flower on the third, a vegetable on the fourth one, and then a herb on the fifth and final bottle. We will then walk around the garden with the children, counting the number of spiders or spider webs, bees, butterflies, and ladybirds. For each one observed, a child puts a counter into the corresponding bottle. We will follow the same procedure for the flowers, herbs, and vegetables. Then we will walk back to school following the walking map we made in reverse.
Now, there will be 5 post-fieldwork activities that will be done in the classroom. These activities are made for the student to further their understanding of where a community garden is and how can we show what it looks like. Activity 1. Put up the photo of the area before it becomes a community garden. So we'll have the before photos and how the garden looks now. We will ask the students questions such as the features of the place and how they have changed over time.
Activity 2. Put up a large map of the garden and discuss with the children once again the key used on the map. So go over it with them once again. The bark that we use for the path, the straws we use for our garden beds, the bamboo leaves for our windbreak, etc. Look at the back of a photo on the map and ask the children whose names are on the back of it, and if they could say 1 or 2 words that describes where their photo belongs in the garden. For example, smells nice. We will then write that place name on our map. Ask the children how they would move from the gate to that position in the garden using appropriate terms for direction and location. For example, up, down, beside, and further, near, further. And then we will repeat this with the other pairs.
Activity 3. Have the children outline the garden map. Have them colour it accordingly to a key of their own choosing. Have the children write the word that matches their photograph onto the map.
Activity 4. As a class, count the number of tokens in each jar using tally marks. Give the children a table that has pictures of the spider, insects, flower, vegetables, and herbs along the bottom, and along the left-hand side is a number scale from 1 to 10. So the children can now create a simple bar graph using the data we've collected from the garden. And here is our template for the bar graph. So we've got our pictures along the bottom, the flower, herb, spider, insects, vegetable, herb, and then along the left side we've got our scale from 1 to 10.
Activity 5. We will discuss with the class how people care for this garden and what makes it sustainable. We will also discuss the features that support a sustainable garden. Example, using a compost, bins, and rainwater. We will talk about the resources which we can recycle, reduce, and reuse, or none of these, and where these spaces are on the map. We will point out signs on the map too that supports these activities. We will also talk about why we can care for the garden, example the pizza oven for pizza, fresh vegetables and herbs for cooking, and the sand area for playtime. Discuss with the children how you can care for the garden, Example of this would be using the community roster for watering the plants and doing the weeding. We can also Google the community garden roster for the children to observe on the interactive whiteboard.
So, by actively getting students to complete the activities on the fieldwork, they are looking at natural, managed and constructed features of the community garden, and this develops these HAS concepts. The post-fieldwork activities are extending their knowledge and further and are getting them to reflect on where the community garden is and how we can show what it looks like.
They are also recording the data about the location of the places and the features on the map. They are also showing evidence of how to read a map by getting from the school to the community garden and back. By teaching these skills through engaging activities, we are successfully building the Year 1 class skills, knowledge and understanding of the HAS curriculum. Thank you for watching.